Welcome to the SABC News COVID-19 Global Wrap. I am Busisiwa Khatebe. This week, I bring you highlights of news which dominated headlines with regards to the coronavirus pandemic. But before we delve into it, let us have a look at some global stats. The world currently sits at over 57.2 million confirmed cases, with more than 39 million recoveries and over 1.3 million deaths. South Africa's coronavirus infections stand at over 759,000 confirmed cases, with over 702,000 recoveries and over 20,670 deaths. In South Africa, Minister of Health Dr. Zweli Mkhize was in Port Elizabeth this week to address the rapid increase of COVID-19 infections in the Eastern Cape province. Nelson Mandela Bay has become the new epicenter for infections in the country, with positive cases growing at double the rate compared to the rest of the country. Meanwhile, government departments as well as civic organizations have embarked on awareness campaigns to try and curb the spread of the coronavirus in the Eastern Cape. On to the rest of Africa. The continent has now recorded over 2 million confirmed COVID-19 cases, with over 1.7 million recoveries, and the death toll stands at 48,785. The World Health Organization has revealed that 18.3% of COVID-19 deaths in the African region are among people with diabetes, one of the conditions that global studies have found to increase the risk of severe illness and death among patients infected with the virus. The WHO analysis of 14 African countries showed that the risk of complications or death from COVID-19 among people with diabetes increases with age. Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune has finished treatment for coronavirus but will undergo follow-up checks, the presidency said on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Eswatini, Ambrose Mamvulo Dlamini, has contracted coronavirus. Dlamini says he is asymptomatic and feeling well, but in isolation. And in the Middle East, Turkey's government urged tight discipline this week as the country prepared for new weekend curfews, online schooling, and limits on restaurants and cafes that are to begin Friday evening and last through year-end to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. And in international news, the United States of America surpassed 250,000 COVID-19 deaths this week as a third wave of the virus brings a fresh surge in infections while straining the healthcare system. As seen in a Reuters tally, the U.S. is reporting over 1,100 daily deaths over a 7-day average, which is higher than the daily average deaths in India and Brazil combined, which happen to be the worst affected countries after the U.S. Governors across states and local officials implemented a range of measures in recent days in attempts to curb the spread of the coronavirus. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio on Thursday said in-person learning in the city's public school district will be halted, citing soaring infection rates. In Asia, South Korea reported 313 new cases on Wednesday, with over 200 of them being local transmissions. Praised for its handling and containment of the virus, the South Korean government is treading on the side of caution by imposing tougher social distancing measures to avoid a spike in cases. Meanwhile, in Japan, Tokyo is set to raise its coronavirus alert level to the highest of 4 levels as the number of infections has been rising. In Europe, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he was in good health after coming into contact with someone with COVID-19. Johnson will continue executing his duties virtually via Zoom while he self-isolates. And finally, the United Nations aid chief Mark Lowcock said he used $100 million from the body's emergency fund to assist 7 countries to avert famine fueled by COVID-19, conflict, spiraling economies, and climate change. For the latest updates on the coronavirus, visit sabcnews.com.